Today we are going to look at a special characteristic of soil known as efflorescence. Efflorescence. Now, when we look at efflorescence is a type of salt or efflorescent substance. Is when salt is exposed to the atmosphere, it loses its water of crystallization. I repeat, any salt when you expose it to atmosphere, it loses its water of crystallization. That type of salt is known as what? Efflorescent salt. Unlike deliquescent, that when you expose that salt to the atmosphere, it will absorb water and turn to what? And turn to solution. But in efflorescent, it will even lose some water of its crystallization. Do you get that? Now I will give you simple way you can use to remember efflorescent salts. Now let's go. Some salts make flowers, can make flowers. This is a simple acronym you can use to remember efflorescent salts. Some salt can make flowers. Some salt can make flowers. Some salt can make flowers. Don't just sing the song. What you need to do is that remember this acronym and you can relate it anytime you have any external exams or as you are preparing for a JAMB. Remember this. Some salt can make flower. What does it mean? Some stand for sodium. Sodium sulfate decahydrate. Anytime you see a salt like this, is a salt of this salt is efflorescent salt. It loses some water of crystallization. This is the water of crystallization. Some we also have sodium carbonate decahydrate. If you see any salt again like this salt is what? Salt of is efflorescent salt because of this water molecule. It will, if you expose this salt to air, it will lose some of its water molecule. Another one, this can stand for copper sulfate pentahydrate. This copper sulfate pentahydrate is another example of what? Another example of efflorescent salt. So if you see this one, if they give you a compound like that, identify which one can lose some water of its crystallization, you see that this kind of salt is some of the example. Make is magnesium sulfate heptahydrate. This salt is another example of what? Efflorescent salt. Magnesium sulfate heptahydrate. Flowers here stand for iron sulfate heptahydrates. So we have some salt can make flower. Some sodium sulfate decahydrate, sodium carbonate decahydrate, copper sulfate pentahydrate, magnesium sulfate heptahydrate, and iron sulfate heptahydrate. All these one are some of the example of salt that are what? Efflorescent. If you see this kind of question in exam, remember this acronym. Some salt can make flowers. Some salt can make flowers. Some salt can, don't chew your mouth. So thank you all. If you are just joining us for the first time, this is our JAMB YouTube channel. Do well.